This video, we are going to talk about a very serious subject matter. We're going to talk about the whole George Floyd situation and Black voices in the Disney community and the Black experience in America. And I wanted to bring my friend on. He was on actually just what was it last week. Ethan from ThemeParkWizard. We're going to discuss this. Ethan, welcome.
Hello, welcome back. We're just here and now we're here again.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So Ethan, I wanted to bring you on. I wanted to discuss this with you. First and foremost, let's start off with the George Floyd situation. George Floyd, I mean, as everyone knows by now, was tragically murdered. I think it was just like a couple of weeks ago. And what are your thoughts? I saw your video on it, by the way, a few days ago, and it was fantastic. But for those of you, watching that didn't see his video, Ethan, what are your thoughts on the George Floyd situation?
Well, I guess a lot of stuff's come out saying, he was doing this and this and that, and he's a criminal, you're a meth or something. Either way, no one, no matter which race you are, should have anyone's knee, whether you're a cop or a person to a person, should have their knee on your neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That's terrible. So I think, and it's also like, let's see, like the fourth or fifth case just this year, something like that. Yesterday was Donna Taylor's birthday. That was the African American woman that she was just in her home sleeping. Imagine going to your home sleeping, and then cops come in thinking because they got a report of a home invasion, but they went to the wrong house. So you go in, you're in the wrong house, and then you shoot the person anyway, knowing that they shot her. When they shot Breonna Taylor, the suspect they looked for was already in custody. So they just shot her just to shoot her. I'm sure they knew because they have radios and stuff. So I'm sure they knew they were in custody, but they just thought, oh, Black person sleeping, let's just shoot. And she worked for, she's a health carrier. She was helping COVID-19 patients every day. She's a nurse.
Wow.
She was shot. Terrible. The Aubrey case with the white people in Georgia, the guy was just jogging and they thought he was a criminal. He looked suspicious because he was jogging. I don't know how you can look suspicious while jogging.
Yeah, that's crazy.
As you paint yourself white or something, then you'll be okay. But then they shot him there too. So I think people were very fed up with all that. Whoa, what happened? Okay, very fed up with all that. So they decided, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this, and they said they started a march. But the George Floyd, that was some of the other things were caught on video, But it's very hard for me to even watch the little clips of the video of George Floyd because you see that he's clearly struggling. Everyone's probably seen the video by now, but he's on his neck, and then there's three other cops just not tack. If I was those three other cops, I'd just tackle that other guy. But no, they're just they clearly condone it because they're pinning him down too. So when you're in the middle of the street like that, no matter who you are, that's terrible. So it really pisses people off, and that's why they definitely started protesting. I say protesting, not rioting, because those are the opportunists that are trying to take advantage of the situation. I know that because I've seen them when I was watching the news. They even said they pull up in cars at like a Target or something and go in and loot the store, then come out. So see, we don't want to associate those. Now we don't want to associate the rioters, the looters, with the protesters, as I see a lot of people have been trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to George Floyd? Like, I agree with you, Ethan. It's hard to watch. I mean, even seeing the clips, it makes my stomach turn. I mean, it was absolutely disgusting. I understand, like, in certain circumstances, the cops need to get control of a situation. Fine. Clearly, though, these cops had control of the situation already, and the guy was still kneeling on his neck. That's unacceptable and disgusting. And George Floyd kept saying he couldn't breathe, he couldn't breathe, he couldn't breathe, and the guy wouldn't let up. I mean, it's appalling. And like you said, it was for 8 minutes. And I just hope, I just really, really hope. I know they, these cops have been arrested and everything. I just hope justice is served, and I hope these guys do a lot of time, because what they did was absolutely, um, beyond words.
Yeah, and just think, I think it was it over an alleged fake $20 bill. Like, wow, a fake $20 bill, not even 100, but a fake $20 bill, and you can die over that.
Oh,
But if it was like
jeez.
some other random white person, I'm sure, but oh, it's okay. Well, there you go. I'm sure
Mm.
you didn't know what you were doing. It's just someone must have gave it to you. A black person probably gave you that fake $20 bill. But here you go. And the person who called the police, that person was a minority too. So I don't understand what was happening. It was very weird.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's terrible. Now, okay, so I want to switch gears a little bit. I don't know if you're familiar. Have you heard of a Disney, or really like a theme park YouTuber? His name is Sean Roselle. Have you heard of him? Do you follow him
I
on
have
Twitter?
not.
Okay, so Sean Roselle, uh, he I love him. He's awesome, dude. He's a YouTuber. He's on Twitter, and uh, African American, and he advocates for racial justice a lot, right?
Hmm.
So he did a video, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, or maybe, I don't know, it was like last week sometime. Phenomenal video. I'm going to link it up above. But he did a video about his experience as a black man living in America, and his whole
Hmm.
experience. And one thing that really caught my attention was, he was saying that whenever he leaves the house, when he turns on his car and he walks around his car to check to see if all the headlights are good, everything's on, everything works, because he's fearful that he's going to get pulled over, when he's driving and going to where he needs to go.
Hmm.
And that really touched me, because I'm like, as a white guy, that stuff doesn't really cross my mind, right?
Hmm.
As being black in America, though, I think, I mean, from what I understand, that's a pretty normal concern. What's your story, Ethan? Like with being black in America, what's your story in regards to how you feel and your approach to life, because you're fearful in regards to how you're going to be perceived, how the cops, if they're going to pull you over. What's your story and your experience with being black in America?
So it's funny because so my mom, so I'm obviously half white, half black. So my mom lives in kind of the mid-city area between Santa Monica and downtown. And then my father used to live in Calabasas and my grandfather in a Gore type area. Those of you who don't know, it's the mid-city areas, like it's not even a black, it's like a diverse area. There's all types of people. But the Calabasas and Gore are just almost extremely white and Jewish. I'm also half Jewish, which is why. But so most of my time, my schools and all that were all over on this side, the west side of town, the Calabasas High School. Currently live in the Agora area. So honestly, I've started driving, let's see, 8 years ago. I've been pulled over a total of 4 times and only I've gotten one ticket, and it was a legitimate ticket. I was going 85 miles per hour in the zone of 55, but it's like on one of those Mulholland back road, beach road things. So that's why. But other times have just been warnings. And honestly, I can say, except for potentially the last night is kind of weird, but the other 3 times were not racially profiled. I can honestly say I was doing one of the times I was there's I really like Drake, so a Drake song was coming on. It was a Saturday night and I was dancing. So I took my hand off the wheel to dance, and the car just started swerving. And the cop, obviously thought it was Saturday night at 10 p.m. So I'm sure he thought I was drunk. But he let me off, and also speeding to us on the freeway. But he was a super nice cop. He he pulled me over, but once he saw I was not on drugs or drunk, he quickly he left. I was like, oh, it's okay. I was like, thank you. Um, the other time was also speeding, and thus I almost ran a stop sign, but then I quickly slowed down when I saw there's a cop on his motorcycle at cease sign, and he just looked. I saw him, and I was like, "Oh man!" I slowed down, but he pulled me over. But again, more, he's like, "Did you see the stop sign?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And then so it was only four times, really. So I really haven't had to like deal, I'd say, with that problem. In fact, I was like you, thinking like you, because I wouldn't I wouldn't have to I wouldn't even think about checking all my lights and stuff. Also because I feel like my parents, for some reason, never like talked to me about that. At least my mom, who's black, never talked to me about that. Maybe it's because she felt I lived in Calabasas and I was like, okay, and I had a white father because I was mixed, but she never really talked to me about that. So I never had the thought, oh, let me check if all my lights are out. Like yesterday, I pulled over because my license plate lights were out. I never had a thought, oh, maybe I should check if these license plate lights are out because they were working 2 days ago. So I thought, oh, actually, I didn't even know when. They could have been out for weeks. But I never really had a thought. Let me go check those out before I go to the go anywhere, because I felt like I was almost treated like a white person kind of. I don't know because like, again, I lived in those white areas, had a whole bunch of a diverse friend group, but the things black people talk about, especially like black males, I never really had to like deal with or go through, or the statistic is that black males get put over like 13 times more than white males, but like I said, I only got put over four times. So I don't know if it's because I'm half and half and they can tell, or just the areas, or maybe the state, California. I know obviously, oh, there's bad and good cops everywhere, but maybe there's a lower percentage in LA County or the Valley and this Thousand Oaks, Ventura County area. I don't know, but so I feel like I'm able to live my life pretty normally without having to think about those major things, which is very interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Like now you mentioned maybe it's a state. Yeah. I mean, California and Los Angeles in particular. I mean, I think we are the most diverse city in the world.
Mm,
So that maybe that has something to do with that. I'm
yeah,
just
it could be because I'm thinking like I know like in parts of South LA. I think it's like it gets all that stuff higher simply because there's just more criminal activity and like gangs over there. So I feel like you would get pulled over more over there. But I think anywhere north of the 10 freeway, it seems to be pretty okay. Um, so because I mean, even my mom commutes, or used to commute from Ventura County to she lived in LA, but then working at Dole in Ventura County, so she was all over the freeways, and she was taking me to school in West Calabasas, and then even one time we only got pulled over once, and that's again it was a legitimate reason. Her tags where it was like the wrong year, but other than that, that's like and one time because I was sleeping and my head was down, but I was sleeping like this, so it looked like I was dead. So the cop was legitimately concerned. But other than those two times, she hasn't really got pulled over. She actually really hasn't got any tickets throughout her entire. She's been driving. She's like 50 something, so she's been driving for over 40 something years and still hasn't got too. So I don't know. I think it's definitely the area and the state. I think it all plays a factor
yeah.
into how cops are, how nice they are, how racist they are. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now let's switch gears a little bit. You've touched upon your experience, being black in America. Now, what's your experience in the Disney fan community? Because, like I mentioned, that YouTuber Sean Roselle, he's talked a lot about this online on Twitter about how the Disney fan community doesn't have much diversity. Okay, it's a
Mhm.
lot of white people to be blunt, right?
Yeah.
And in honesty, I've noticed that too. You know, I've noticed it's a lot of white people. Now, what's your experience in the fan community? I mean, have you been, do you feel like you've been excluded, or that you're not as welcome because of race, or you feel, or do you feel like you've been totally welcome and accepted? What are your feelings? What are your thoughts on the community?
This is funny. So I feel like I was raised really, um, like I almost feel like I was raised like not to see like color. You know, I always see like a person like for a person. So I've noticed like that too. They're all white, but it hasn't really like gone into my mind. Oh my gosh, there's so many white people in the Disney fan community because I just kind of see them all. You know, all you guys just as people. Like, oh, this is a cool person. Oh, this is a cool person. And it only happens if someone's like makes a racial judgment to me, which they haven't. So I feel like I'm just totally welcome. Um, I really don't see it. I don't see the group as a whole bunch of white people because even though they mostly are, but I see them as a whole group of people who are happen for the most part have been super nice. You have those Twitter trolls, of course, but the
Yeah.
actual people are pretty nice, and they even if they disagree, which they really, well, they kind of disagree sometimes, but they're not like rude about it. They don't call me names. They just simply disagree. In fact, I feel like you, as the white person, you get more Twitter hate than I than I
Yeah.
do.
I get a
Um,
lot. I get a lot.
so you know, and see, luckily it's been totally welcome, which is good because I feel like that's what Disney's all about. It's about you forget who you are, or you're supposed to come into the parks no matter who you are and all get along and just have a great day. So I'm glad it kind of spreads into that community too.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm really glad that that you feel welcome in the community. And we've known each other now for, I think, like 3 years. I think we started our channels around the same time,
Yeah, it's
and
kind of wow, it went by so quickly.
yeah, and it's been really great. Like, when you start a channel and you're new to it, it's really great to have somebody that's kind of in the same situation as you. And
Mhm.
it's been great because like you and I, like starting our channels around the same time and kind of being new to this whole YouTube thing, we've kind of learned from each other, and we
Mhm.
teach each other various things in regards to the channels, and like editing and like all that inside
Mhm.
baseball stuff. But it's been really great. And like I said, you're a friend of the channel, and you'll always be a friend of the channel. And you know I
Mhm.
do, I appreciate your friendship, Ethan. I really do.
Oh yeah, you've been really great with the mics and that perfect video app. That's that's when my thumbnails.
That
Oh
app
no,
is fantastic.
well,
I love that app.
that's my videos. My when I learned how to do the clips thing, that's when all my in-park videos just got much better. I was like, oh, thank you. That was great. And speaking of Twitter, and being welcome, I think it was a Disney person who said, they started like a thread, like to try to like showcase the black creators. I'm like, oh, that's so nice of you. I think you tagged me in it, but I think it was from a
Yes.
Disney person who started that. I was like, oh, it's things like that that I feel so pretty welcome, and it's awesome they're trying to showcase all the black creators, and I'll actually have one of them. Um, his name's Theme Park Life. I thought it was just a theme park channel, but I looked at it yesterday. It's a completely Disney World channel. He's a black
Cool.
creator, and I guess he was gonna do collab on Monday, so look out for that.
Nice. Well, yeah. I wanted to tag you in that because I felt like it's important to raise awareness to various black creators, and get your voice out there, and
Mhm.
if I can play a part in amplifying your voice, I will be more than happy to do that. And also, for those of you watching, if you guys know any black creators on YouTube that talk about Disney, talk about the theme parks, talk about even other stuff like Star Wars and things like that,
Mhm.
Marvel, if they're just focusing on that stuff, comment below and give them a shout out so people can follow them and watch them and consume their content too. It's good to share this because this is kind of going to segue into what my next question for you is, but I, I really feel like as a community we need to start um you know kind of amplifying voices, different perspectives, right? And my question to you is, in terms of the Disney community, what can we do as a community? Now, I know you felt really welcome and you felt really included, but I think we can always do better, right? We can
Mhm.
always do better. So, from your perspective, what can we do as a Disney community to get more to become more inclusive, to become more diverse going forward? What kind of things can we do to improve our community here?
Hmm. Well, I think definitely showcasing the black or different types of characters too, because I feel like, it's like a movie. Let's say Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, I'm sure with a lot of girls like resonated because look at that female superhero. She's super powerful and like it kind of inspires people, right? So I feel like if they see people of color or even gay people or any type of sexuality, different type of sexuality people saying, "Oh wow, look, there's this massive YouTube with 60,000, like theme park obsession, like Dylan, love his content. He has he's gay, but he's like 60,000 subscribers and he's or 50,000 and he's super awesome. He's like one of my favorite YouTubers. I feel like if other people like that see like, wow, how big he is, it may inspire them to start their own channels. So, but you can only do that by like, showcasing other people. So again, if you showcase black people or different, even like Indian people, like whoever, I feel like it might encourage those other people who want to do it, start it, who are probably like, oh wow, well, you're right, all these white people are doing it. So if I do it, I might be like a single odd one out. But then when they realize there's so many other people doing it, they'll probably be inspired to start their own. And then
Yeah.
they'll probably feel more comfortable to actually reach out to those specific creators because they'll usually, people in the same culture seem to feel, you know, better, more comfortable like speaking and jumping cultures.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the more diverse we get, like you said, the more comfortable people of color will be, because it's not just going to be a white dominated field anymore, a
Hmm.
white dominated industry or whatever. So, and I think that's important, and yeah, that's great. I agree with you, Ethan. I think that's the key right there. Is I think that as content creators in this community, we need to all start, raising awareness, amplifying black voices, people of color, putting it out there that, hey, check this creator out, they're awesome. Hey, check this creator out, they're awesome. And we can all kind of share their content and spread the word. And in doing so, we're going to create a much more diverse community. And I think that's good for everybody. That helps
Hmm.
everybody. We all learn from that. It's like, okay, getting a little personal here. My girlfriend for a very long time is Asian. She's Asian. She's more specifically, she's Vietnamese. And we're family. I love, obviously I love her to death. And but being with her, I've learned so much about Vietnamese culture and
Hmm.
the people and their food, and it's helped me, it's helped me become a better person. And just overall, I've enjoyed it. I've had a fun time experiencing new foods, the new culture and all that. It's part of being, it's just, it's as a human being, it's just more fun to learn and experience new things, right? I mean, like, it's fun to do that. Like, why would you want to be in a bubble where you just experience the same thing over and over again? It's always fun to experience different, unique things that you might not be familiar with. That's what life is about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And in the broader sense for the Disney community, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing in that when you bring in other voices, when you bring in Black voices, when you bring in Asian voices and Latino voices and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Indian voices and all these different voices, we all learn from that. We all get value from that. It's more fun that way, I think, you know? It's more
Oh
fun.
yeah, definitely. Because then each culture has like they all have different opinions on things. Um, Especially, I know, I'm sure it'll be really fun when it comes down to like the food because everyone eats differently. So everyone might have a different restaurant at the Disneyland Resort. Something that someone may have never tried before, but because they have these set of friends, they want to go in, and then all of a sudden that's their new favorite restaurant too. And the same thing with the vice versa. These other people may never try um, the other people's food, and then they all find some new dishes they like and new restaurants to go to.
Yeah.
So I feel like, um, in which case that helps Disney out too, because then they just made double the money, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, and speaking of Disney, um, that's another thing I really want to I really like about the direction that Disneyland Resort is going in when it comes to this, because, you know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, theme park food was really limited. It was corn dogs, pizza,
Yeah.
maybe fried chicken or whatever, but it was very limited, right? But now you go to California.Adventure and you can get banh mi, you know, which is a Vietnamese sandwich. You know, you can get
Mm,
Spanish food or Mexican food. You can get
mm.
Chinese food. You can get, you know, we have the Food and Wine Festival, and it showcases a bunch of different cultures
Oh yeah, that and the festival of holidays. The
and
food is
Festival of Holidays.
super
Exactly.
diverse. They have a little, they have the oh, actually in the tropical hideaway, they have the little, what do you call it? The bao, the little Asian
Yeah,
treats. Like,
those are great.
yeah, and I feel like, yeah, if the attendance wasn't diverse, it was all white people, they probably wouldn't have any of that stuff.
You wouldn't have any of that.
Yeah.
You would have Coca-Cola and hot dogs. And
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, but it's also great to have, like you said, the bao, to have the banh mi, to
Mm.
have the Mexican food. Like it's such great food, and it's exciting to try these different flavors. And I love the fact that Disneyland Resort is going in that direction, you know?
Yeah, and I'm encouraging that attendance people of all colors and diversities are continue to coming to, not just Disneyland's World, but like Knott's and all the other theme parks. They all have like some really diverse food. Now, I haven't been to Knott's, but I've seen what people like vloggers what they eat there. They have some really diverse food too, like the bao and all these great things and Universal has some really diverse food. I'm like, wow, because they have all these people of all these different ethnicities now go these places. Uh, for some reason, I don't know why they was less before, but now they all go. So and it's encouraging them to try have some new dishes to appeal to these people, which is great.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And so Ethan, I want to thank you again for coming on. Like I said before, you're always welcome on this channel. Like I said in my last video, I'm gonna have you on more often. You know, I really want to have you on more often as a guest. And I love your passion for the parks, for Disney, and you're always fun. You're always, you know, I just love having you on. Now I do want to mention too before we go. I'm going to link below in the description colorofchange.org. This organization fights for like racial justice, and I thought that would be appropriate to add. And you know, if you guys want to donate to them, they're down below in the description below. But they're a great organization, and it's a good cause. So check them out if you're interested. But Ethan, before we go, anything else you want to say before we take off, or?
Let's see. Oh yes, a short story about my dad. Because I wanted to, because this happens about the cops thing. Because just say this also happens not just about everybody. My dad, when he first started driving, he's about 16 or so, and he's fully white. He was down the street from his house, and a cop pulled him over for literally this time was like no reason at all. They didn't do anything. There's no reason at all. Probably because he was a young teenage boy. They thought he was probably on some drugs. I don't know. But so my dad was very shaken up and scared by that. So he went to my grandpa or his dad, and my grandfather's knew. Well, one he I guess that there's a cop a little up the street, and he talked to him. That cop knew that the cop that pulled my dad over. He said, "Oh yeah, he's an idiot." And so my grandfather called the police station. Actually, got was able to get that cop fired within the next week,
Wow.
which is pretty cool.
Wow. Wow. When this was a while ago, your dad was a teenager?
Yeah, he was like 16, 17, 18, or about yeah, 18, and he's like, oh, his birthday was on Friday. It was 53, so like 40
Wow.
something years ago. But yeah, it's just to show everyone, it's not just black people or anything. It really happens that if there's a bad cop or just a jealous cop out there. Some cops they pull you over based on the type of car you're driving. See, a lot of around here. There's a lot of 16-year-olds or driving like Mercedes and stuff because they just have wealthy families. I'm sure lots of cops get jealous about that and just pull them over for no reason. So just be careful. Oh, like my friend, no, my cousin's friend actually got pulled over. He's in a BMW. This was like a few months ago, or either this year or last year. But got pulled over. They're both, or no, my cousin's, well, he's Israeli, but but his friend is completely white. And this cop pulled him over in this BMW for no reason, or light out or whatever. And this cop actually pulled a gun on
Oh my
the
God.
the white friend, the white person who was driving. He pulled a gun on the white person. He was 18, and was also his first time getting pulled over. So obviously he was very shaken up by that, and he's okay. But I mean, imagine getting a gun pulled on you because you're just driving like that's terrible.
It's crazy. It's scary stuff, man. It's really scary stuff. Well, there was a protester, and for the life of me, I can't remember where it is, but I want to say, oh my gosh, I want to say Baltimore, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments because I'm not 100% sure on that. But it was an elderly man. He was like 75 years old,
Oh,
and
in Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo. That's it, Buffalo. And they
And he got
pushed this
pushed
guy.
down. I was like, I saw that video too. I'm like, what? Why are you pushing the guy down? First of
Oh,
all, he's on a cane. What are you doing?
and then he landed on his back and he hit his head,
Yeah,
and
I
it looked like his
saw
head
that.
was bleeding.
Yeah, I saw there's some blood in the guy. I was like, oh, I couldn't watch. That's terrible. Like, poor guy.
And they
Like,
didn't do anything. They just sat there. They looked at him and they walked away. I was like, "What are you doing? At least call an ambulance."
yeah, like, jeez, some of these people have no mercy for anybody.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible. We need to practice more love in this world, and we really do. More acceptance, and more love. And it's really sad. It really is. But
Yeah, the less jealousy or less hate people have, we can actually all advance in the world instead of, all this hate keeps us keeps us back from progressing. Look at Japan. They all love each other and they're so advanced.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you, Ethan, buddy. I appreciate you coming on. And Theme Park Wizard. Subscribe to Theme Park Wizard. You're at what now? You're almost at 700 subs.
Yes, we're at 677. We're so close.
Let's get this man to 1,000. Let's get this man to 1,000. So subscribe to him. Follow him on Twitter. And thank you so much, Ethan. And like I said earlier in the video, though, if you guys know any, black content creators, black voices in the Disney community, in the theme park community, or even in the film community that talk about Star Wars, Marvel, whatever, comment them below. Let's amplify it and let's try to get, the word out and get these and get other, let's get there. Let's get more support, for them. I think that's important right now to spread word and really amplify Black voices right now, especially in the times that we're currently in. Thank you so much, Ethan. I do appreciate it. And you know what, Ethan? I'm going to let you close it out. What are we going to do? We're going to have a
fantastic day.
You heard the man. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.